Fight me like a man.
But all the way out is 65 yards. I thought it was about 50, but I measured it at 65. I'm trying to shoot offhand, and I suck. I can't seem to hit these targets at 65 yards, man. And it's stupid because the other before I could hit that bottle at about 85 yards all day. But yeah, either way. Hey, Pilot Mountain Airgunner here. Thanks for tuning in. For the people who do watch, I really do appreciate you. Today I want to go over some different things, stuff that I've used in the past. Oh, this is a Shooter's Choice FP10 Lubricant Elite, and I bought this back when I got in a brake barrel. I had the Hudson 135 30 caliber. Well, lucky for me, honestly, that gun had an issue. It's a really good gun. It's just my particular gun. Luckily had an issue. It was too big for me. Yeah, if you've seen other videos, I've got health issues, so I can't hang on to a big gun. So it was an issue, and I'd send it back and save my money. Oh, if I can get to her. And of course, if y'all watch me, this is what I use all the time. My Hudson Flashpup. Also, I have camoed it. I camouflage this myself. Just do some cheap Wally World paint. But I love this thing. Absolutely love this gun. So anyway, I kind of want to talk about things that I used in the past. What I was saying with the Shooter's Choice, something else I'm going to go over here is the oils and stuff. I'll go over what I've used in my gun. But the reason I got this is it's supposed to, one, help clean your barrel, but on top of that, it's supposed to help get a little more speed out of it. Now, I will say with the 30, I had issues, and it was powerful. It was a good gun, but either way, I don't know. I did not have a chronograph. I didn't have one, but I did notice that once I washed my pellets with these, which I'm going to go over, and that's the whole main reason with this video, is I'm going to do some testing because it's supposed to work really well with PCPs. But either way, I've done this, and this type of oil keeps your guns from from different oils, petroleum products. They'll detonate inside of a brake barrel. The compressed air works just like a diesel engine. So much pressure that's compressed on it, boom, it explodes. Yeah, but it's not good. You'll blow your O-rings out in this net. This stuff here, it doesn't cause dieseling. So that works really well. I tend, I like it pretty well. But either way, as far as feet per second, now I have a chronograph. I bought me a chronograph when, if you see my very first video, so I could test the Flashpup here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wash. I've got me 4 pellets of tins. I have tins of pellets. that they're brand new from Pyramid Air. They haven't been opened. The air arms. Evolve Fields 25.4. This barrel loves these things. I mean, it'll stack pellets with those. I was using, of course, the JSBs, the JSPs, as everybody says, but the JSBs, and they're accurate. They're good. but this barrel likes the air arms real well. So either way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these and we're going to wash them, and then I'm going to lube them with some of this right here. And I'm going to shoot some pellets through it that are lubed and some that aren't lubed, and see what happens. See if we get a feet per second. Now the only thing with all that is that's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, because once you've set your gun up and you've tuned it to a certain speed with different ammunition, whatever it is that you're using, this could throw you off. It could change your speed, and you don't want it to go faster. Or some oils could also slow it down, create a bit of a drag. But this is designed to, you know, give you a little bit more speed and stuff like that. Especially for the lower end guns. My gun, I have no issues. You've seen the type of power this thing has. It's easy to turn up. You know, there's plenty of videos. There are a couple videos. Airgunner's Edge is where I started learning with mine, and then Brothers in Air does some excellent videos on his gun. He's got it regulated, and he's got some slugs that are shooting through his too. So if you want to see slugs go through these, go check out Brothers in Air on his slugs. He's got them shooting fantastic. I think definitely MOA at 100 yards. I think under that, and he says it's really easy. But either way, we're going to wash and test these. I'm going to look up some stuff on this. Oil. Some people have asked me what kind of oil I use. I use a silicone shock oil, just pure silicone. Traxxas is, that's what I use, and that's what I actually put a little, well, you can see there's a hole, a little teeny bit on the tip of my finger once on my gun here. When I did clean it out and turn it up, just on the action and stuff, and then now the oil will collect dirt, so no matter what kind of oil it is, it's going to collect dirt, so you're going to have to eventually clean it out again. But it helped a whole lot with the action on this, because it's extremely difficult. See, me, I used to have really strong hands, and it wouldn't be a problem for me shooting this thing to reach up here and cock it. It wouldn't have been an issue at all. But now it's an issue for me. I know I'm rambling here because my hands are messed up, and they're curved into a point that's as far open as I can get it, so I can't stretch it out to even get to the bolt. So it makes it hard. So for me, when I shoot, I bring it down to my chest here, and I cock it, and then I go back up. That's the reason I love the side lever, like on the AT-44. I like to get one for this. Now, for most people, this it shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be a problem. So I've got RA, OA, MSD, musculoskeletal disorder. You can see my bones and stuff. You look, watch me, you can tell. But so I can't grab this thing and cock it. But if you take it apart, lube it up, you know, clean it. I buffed mine out. I just cleaned it up, cleaned any metal that's left over from the factory or anything, because and a super thin, I mean super, you don't want to lube up anything in there. I put just a little bit, because this thing had a spring on it, boy, it was tight. It was hard for me to get it cocked when I first got it, but it, you know, it got, once I lubed it up and everything, it's a whole lot easier. Every now and then on a good day, out maybe if the sun's warm, I've got my hand stretched out enough, I can grab it and I can cock it like that. But that's 2 out of 100 times. So either way, this is what I'm going to do. There's stuff I'm going to go over in this video. I had some blast caps for 4th of July. I'll show you what happened with those, but probably my fault. I have to learn more about them. I've tested them 3 times and they didn't work. Oh, but for Father's Day, I got me some Air Arms pellets, and I want to do the test on those. I also you know, talk about this gun. I want to show people too. I don't know where my targets are, and I'd rather just go ahead and show you. This little gun likes a lot of different pellets for a budget gun. You know, it's not really a review. I need to really actually do a review on this thing. I've had it now for well over a year. It's still kicking and cranking. It's getting better. You know, the gun just keeps getting better. But all the ammo this thing will shoot. Now I did find the Benjamin domes. It didn't like those at all. Now it may have been me, but from everything I tested, it wouldn't shoot them. Now the Barracuda Hunter Extremes, these bad boys right here, for a closer range out to about 45, man, it'll stack these things on top of each other. Fantastic squirrel, you know, bird, rabbit, whatever. A closer range, which a lot of hunting you're going to be closer range anyway. I mean, I would think. But here's your Barracudas. It shoots these really well. Now this is a harder alloy, a harder pellet. So if you need to break bone or anything, I'm not going to suggest it, but I will say this gun will do it. Okay, I'll say that. With some slugs, for one of these hard pellets here, if you want to pass through, say you want to go through a deer skull, that bad boy will do it. It will go through it. Now, I did also I bought these, actually, I about used them all up, and somebody ordered some up and I told them they wouldn't work in this gun, and I went ahead and took them because mine will shoot these out to about 30 yards. I haven't tested them at 40 yards. It's not great, but there's not many guns that'll shoot these bad boys right here. These grizzly bullets. Now I prefer slugs because those are terrible, and my phone's ringing. Oh, aha! Telemarketer, cut them off. But either way, at 25 yards, easily within an inch square, half-inch square, something like that, in little squares, this gun will put every single one of these pellets within those. A good 5-shot, and I like to do 10-shot. But either way, I'm just kind of talking about the gun and everything because of the fact that I got this thing, I pre-ordered it back when first came out, and the reason when I had the Hudson, and that sucker had power, and you know, that's all I'd heard was that's the best bang for your buck. And I will say, from other guns that I have seen, and not a lot, but these little suckers pack power. Hudson, and I'm telling you, they're a powerful little gun. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No, I do want to get me a piece for this right here so I can shoulder it better, because unless I have high rings, and then I need to tilt my scope. A lot of this stuff I'll do later, but I want to get it to where, because I have to shoulder it, I have to put this, I can't put it straight in, I have to put it up on the edge of the butt pad. But I'm going to give me a shoulder piece for it. But this little gun's been fantastic. You know, I mean, I take it everywhere. I've taken it back home to Ohio. Now that's a huge difference too, of watching pressure change. I think some of my paint actually peeled. Watching pressure and stuff change on your tank. I'd taken it to Ohio. I live in North Carolina. Originally I'm from Ohio, so I'd taken it up there, and it was cold and it's snowing up there. And came back, and the pressure in the tank. So, you know, just I would suggest anywhere if you're traveling, don't fill your tank all the way up. You know, 3/4 is probably good. You know, maybe half. I don't know if you were flying, maybe half or something like that. You'd have to talk to the people that fly a lot with them. I don't. So, but definitely don't. I wouldn't suggest completely topping it off. That's just my thought on that. Of watching that pressure flies up and down. Anyway, the main gist of this whole video, I'm just talking on and on here. There's so many videos now that I could make. I need to do an updated video on this gun. An actual, just go through and do a review on it. Because it's a good gun. People are still buying it. The new Flash wood is out. And the Flash model, which is what the Flashpup is, it's an excellent gun. I mean, for a budget gun, man, these suckers are accurate. They're powerful. The trigger is amazing. My hands are messed up. Now, I didn't do any trigger videos, but you can, once again, Brothers in the Air, if you want to know how to work on your hots, and go over to his videos and on your Flashpup. But I've got my trigger set real light for me. I tell everybody, when you use my gun, you know, watch my trigger. Be careful with my trigger. Don't put your finger on that trigger until you're ready to fire. It's not real heavy. I would say, I don't know, 8 ounces or maybe a little less. I don't know. Between anywhere between 5 and 10. It's definitely way under a pound. But I set it to where and beat the heck out of it so it wouldn't go off. But I set it for me, and I like the trigger really light on it. This trigger's amazing. I did take the first stage out of it. I like first stage. I like first stage real well. That take up is kind of a, when you're getting ready to shoot, it's kind of a ease in there to it. Now this one really just got a little teeny clink. Very, I doubt, well, it's just got a little teeny bit of pull into the trigger, and then as soon as you squeeze that sucker, it's gone. Which it was good because with me, I had a tendency always to pull because my hand. Well, with other guns I can't. I got to put my finger up on it and hold my hand and just pull back. I can't grip anything and pull. I have to have a grip. And this is just a really nice gun, nice trigger, you know. For a PCP, a starter PCP, I'm gonna tell you what, it's wonderful. But either way, yeah, I'm not gonna go into it. I can sit and talk about this thing all day. I want to get into doing these. These are all unopened tins. I've got a tin over here that, oh, okay. Oh, that's the first 10. I found out this gun loved these things. But I've about shot all these. These are 350 in a can. Yeah. They're about gone. But I'm going to use some of these and then wash some. And the reason I want to go into maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. The only time you really should ever apply this stuff, any oils or anything, is one, if you washed pellets, because some people will get them and say there's dust on them and this and that. If there's dust, you need to look it up. Some companies put graphite, which is an excellent lubricant for your barrel. So if it's graphite, leave it alone. Some, you know, you'll see with the lead pieces and stuff laying in there. You'll find that in some tins. But if it's you're finding powder or anything and it's a pellet that your gun likes, check it out. Make sure it's not just graphite. You know, but then again, if they don't shoot well for you until after you wash them and lube them, then go for it. But the only time you should ever do this is, one, if you've washed your pellets, because these all come with a coating on them. Like the JSBs, I think they have a wax coating on them. There's something on the H&Ns. They all have a coating on them. And that's to protect it from oxidation. These things will turn white. And, you know, your pellets aren't any good. So if you've washed them, the companies put coatings on them. Put something on them to protect them. This Shooter's Choice FP10 is some pretty good stuff. You know, I've heard of all kinds of things. I mean, I think I've even battle stall. That's the best thing. I understand you can put anywhere on your gun's battle stall. I just happened to buy this because of the fact that I was having issues with my brake barrel. It was powerful and it wasn't accurate. I mean, I could get it only if I would hold it a certain way, and that's ended up being a problem. There was a crack in the wood, you know, and the whole deal with the way it happened, it had nothing to do with the company or anything. It was the shipping. I don't know. I think it was FedEx. I think they lost it 3 or 4 times, misdelivered it, and the delivery driver has an attitude. So anyway, I also happen to live with somebody who works at the post office. So all I had to do was ask. But either way, lost my gun, and when I got it, it was banged up and stuff, and that's what it gotten cracked, and it wouldn't shoot. The cheek piece wouldn't hold, so the gun would constantly move on me, and that sucker had a kick. Oh man, it had a kick. I mean, it'd make my jawbone rattle. And I cracked my ribs, went to cock it, it got away from me. See, and that's the thing, my body, getting this Flashpup is the best thing for me, but even regular brake barrels, you know, I'm good. I could pick up a lot of weight probably still, but I have to keep my arms in close because my shoulders will come out, and then I've got these little, if you'll see, these knots and stuff all over all my joints, so when I move them, it'll pop them out of socket. Oh man, that's joy. I do that all day. But either way, if you're going to lube them, the only reason is if you're cleaning that bad boy, or if you've washed your pellets. People are lubing them and this and that, and they say they get better accuracy and more speed out of them. I don't know. We're going to test that. We're going to test that, and we're going to find out. This gun, I'm not worried about it. Anything I can throw at it, as long as it don't get crazy. I mean, if I turn it all the way up now, it'll crank. It'll break the daggone sound barrier with the JSBs. It's crazy powerful. Well, yeah, it'll send them. But either way, that doesn't do any good for accuracy. You know, accuracy is key when it comes to something like this. The main reason I got this was for wild dogs, coyote. I got the 30, and this gun will do it without a problem. You know, you get less shots. It all depends. If I'm having an issue like that, I'm going to turn it up. I'm going to crank it up. I'm going to get a whole lot less shots, but I'm going to do what I have to do with a tool that'll do it. You know, and this little Flashpup will do the job. But either way, we're going to test this, and we're going to see. Now, as far as they say, you'll get up to about 20 feet per second speed with this stuff. So we're going to test that with this gun. I'm not worried about accuracy that much, because I don't know if this thing's shooting at 900 or shooting at 800. It will still put them pretty much in the same hole. I don't know what Hudson does to their barrels. But wow, you know, and everybody will tell you about that. That's the only reason. The reason I love this gun was this is the model I fell in love with the big one, but it was too big for me. And the more I researched, you know, I was heartbroken. I said, man, these are the guns. These are the ones I want. I was going after the Bull Boss after that, and they say it's a boat anchor. It's powerful, you know, like 50 foot-pound out of the box, or you know, somewhere in that range, and it's amazing, but it's too heavy. So finally, this was their first shot at a lightweight gun, and I'm going to tell you what, Hudson, y'all done it right. I am happy. I love they're simple to work on. I mean, it's an extremely simple setup, but it works, and that's what matters. You know, there's plenty of other guns. If y'all have seen my other video on the Gauntlet, boy, to get that sucker apart and deal with it and work, you know, it's not like extremely difficult or rocket science. Especially now, there's videos out, and you can go and watch people's videos and stuff. It's simple, but just the amount of steps that it takes to get stuff done with these. If I want to change the power in it, I pop 2 screws off the bottom, boom, pull it out of the stock, tight, unmove, cock it, loop, and here we go again. So my video camera stopped, and I'm watching the video, and now I'm back. But as I was saying, I cock it. There's one little screw. You take that out. If not, it goes in. What it is, it goes into the threads that holds your. Just take it out. Just take it out. I'm not going to go through the explanation. You can watch other videos. But anyway, take that out, and then in the back of it, you can stick a Allen wrench in there, which eventually stuff I'm going to go over too. I'll do that in another video. Yeah, stuff that I like to keep with me. You know, I found out over shooting for a while I'm out shooting. Either way, yeah, I can loosen that up or tighten that up, and I know, you know, I can back it out if I want massive power. I can put it way back here, and I can throw my slugs in there, or, you know, whatever I want to do. But either way, I don't want to keep talking on and on. Here's what happened with these things. Probably my inexperience with them. My 6-year-old is the cameraman here. Real quick video on that. That's it. That's all it did. So only 2 liter we got because we don't drink much this stuff. Okay. Now, and hopefully I don't screw my gun up because I love the way it's shooting. Well, that's the thing about it. Some barrels, if they're not real leaded up or and it's fouling anything up or whatever, you know, messing with them could screw it up. You've seasoned your barrel, whatever, could. But either way, from what I understand, expert shooters use this stuff as well. So, you know, I don't know if Olympic shooters. I read Olympic shooter, and one Olympic shooter used it. Either way, doesn't matter. I know people use it on their air guns. They're supposed to use it on PCPs, and I'm going to use it on this PCP. And we're going to find out, you know, for those of, I don't know, maybe the cheaper guns than this, or some other reason. If you're having a low power, check your O-rings. First thing, check your breech O-ring. Take that out and change that. That could be your entire issue. I mean, so many times I've read in forums and stuff like that where people get rid of guns and that's all they needed was an O-ring. Or maybe if they've taken it apart or anything, definitely check the O-rings on the barrel as well, because those are real good for getting cut off. And the cuts are so tiny when it shaves them off that you can't see it. They're little tiny flat spots. You have to get something that you can see it with. The same thing with on your. It could be as simple as that. So if you're having issues with that, check your rings. Find out. A lot of companies now you can a contact. Check Pyramid Air. See, I think it's Pyramid Air. I know they have a spot on there that you can go and check to see if they have O-ring kits. Now, I'm waiting for an O-ring kit for mine. I need to check back and see if they've got them in stock. It's been a while since I've checked, so you know. But I like to have one just in case, you know, because when I do go and I put a regulator in it and everything. You know what? Let me shut up. We're going to test this stuff out. See what it'll do. I'll get the chronograph. Now what I'm going to do is I've got a hand pump. And y'all see I'm in great shape. I can do this. And the problem, I'll have this sucker pumped up in about 25 minutes. But yeah, I use old hand pump. I got all. It's a Chinese hand pump. That's what I use. I'm wanting to get one of the daggone Hots and Sparks. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that. I may as well. I'm here. I'm talking about that. A lot of stuff I like to get. I talk about my gun and stuff like that. Things I would like to do. I like to go ahead and you know, get the butt pad on it. I like to put a regulator in it. A lot of stuff, like get a new scope for it. You know, it's an old cheap scope. It does a job. You know, it works for me. But I know my camera's turned now from what it was, and I don't like that. So I'm gonna fix it, y'all. I'll probably screw this up, but I don't care. Now my guitar's in. That's okay. That's okay. I'm doing that. So either way. I do not have a professional setup. I am using a Kindle Fire. So, yeah, because my phone, I use it too outside. It's easier to use. But I'm looking down at my gun here. The reason I'm not is because of the fact that we're getting a house. We're moving into. We're going to get a house and get some land. When we do that, then I'll be able to do some hunting videos, and I'll do some more stuff like that. But right now, it's too difficult for me. So that's just the way it is. You know, occasionally I might be able to get some stuff in here and there. It just all depends. So after I move, be prepared, because I'm going to be out a lot. I'm going to be recording a lot. But now we have one. Actually, we just got the paperwork back on it today. Father's Day was yeah, that we got news that we got shot down for a house that we wanted, and you know, they wanted too much. From what they had set up and said and everything, we had it. We were happy. I think it was about 13 acres, something like that. 13, 14 acres. I can't remember, but either way, yeah, came back. They wanted $6,000-7,000 more on the down payment than what was our originally set up to do, and we ain't got that. Either way, don't matter. Rolling on to the next one. So now, yeah, we're going to work with directly with the bank and look around and talk to some people, and we're going to get us a place where we can have a small farm, at least just for us. We're getting older, you know. I'm not in shape to help take care of it anymore. So it's too much. But I will spend, you know, I like to be outdoors. So where I'm at drives me crazy. I have to go sit on the porch, go just in the yard and shoot, or just walk around the daggone house. I've always done that. I'll go out and walk there because I like to be outdoors. So when all that happens, then I'll start putting money into my guns and this and that and whatever. But right now, it's definitely, you know, I could go buy new guns, no problem. I don't want a new gun. I want to take this gun that I have, this Flashpup, and I want to push it because I think it has the ability to do what the $2,000 guns can do. I really do. Now, I know the FX with the slug liners, man, they're getting out 200 yards. I don't know if this thing can do it, but you know what? I think it can. I think it can with slugs, with regulator set up. If you're popping pest birds and stuff, I know it'll do 150 just by seeing what Brothers in Air has done. But I think with some practice and stuff like that, I think you could probably get that out to 200 yards. Me personally, I want to try that myself. I can't wait. It's tearing me apart. But I want a house that's tearing me apart even more. You know, we're still renting. We're in a house, but it's not big enough for me. I mean, we've got the whole place surrounded in gardens, you know. There'll be room for that. We'll have land. The other one was the place we had it. Dale had already had a big old patch up in the woods, out for camping set up, and everything. I was like, there we go. We got a camping spot. I've got my shooting range. I've got hunting land. We had wood to build stuff with if we wanted to. But, you know, we'll find it. And when we do, you're going to see a whole lot of air gunning. Because once I get up there and get busy, I'll have friends that want to come up and hunt with me a lot. And then at that point, there may be, you never know, maybe people passing through, you know. I like to have a place that the people can come. I'd like to have enough land where we could have a little private area where people can come and go hunting and stuff. That'd be cool. You know, have little camping areas set up. I'm dreaming here, so I'm shutting up. Alright, here we are. I'm going to record this real quick. This is how I'm shooting. I'm just shooting off of a sock with rice in it. It works for me. But, yeah, that's a sock full of rice, and the gun here, we're about, you can see down there to that building. I'm going to walk up. We're at 35 yards. I'm going to walk up there real quick because I just sighted in a little tiny bit high just because of the fact that it's about 5 yards difference. Okay, so here we are. What did we come up with? First of all, that shot was already there. That shot was already there. That was just my sighting. I took one shot and boom. It was great. And this other stuff is like 75-yard shots offhand, trying to pop the center. All that. That's old stuff. But either way, I'm actually impressed. This is
up here without the lube. Now I have one here, here, and here. And those holes, I don't know, man. I don't know if those are flyers or not. I weighed everything. I mean, everything. It was precision done on this. But this one here, now this group right here is really nice. Now I measured this, and I can't not put that in there. I know everybody says, "Oh, it's a flyer," but you know, if you're out hunting on something, a miss is a miss. I do want to say that you'll notice down here that I did crack the bullseye, but over here I'm not hitting the bullseye. And the reason I done that was the fact that I'm aiming at the top, very top of it right up here, and that's to keep from shooting your aim point out. I've got this little red circle. It's easy for me to put the crosshairs dead center in it and shoot, or have a point like, you know, at the very, this little cross right here, or where this intersects here, but basically right here at the top. So, you know, it was probably a click off, or from the center off. I looked at this one, but either way, I'm pretty impressed. Let me put the tape on it real quick. Let's show you. If I'm thinking correctly, the one with the FP10 is 5/8 from center to center. Let me see. Trying to get the lighting. Wow, this is difficult. I'm gonna call it 5/8. Maybe less. Might be 9/16. That's about, yeah, that's closer to 9/16. That's pretty darn good. And I'm not the greatest shot in the world, you know. I mean, for Rick Rain, it'd be no problem shooting a hole of just that one hole right there. But I'm sorry, I'm getting the shadow in here. This one up here, now with this one, I know people are going to yell, "Oh, it's a flyer, blah blah blah." Man, I have to count that. I have to count it, and then I'm going to cut it out and see what I'm working with. But an 1.1/16 is what that is, hole to hole, center to center, with the flyer. So that's not very good at all. And it's gonna usually, I've never, center to center is about, well, it's about the same thing. It is the same. But these three here I did not get, and this just looks a lot cleaner, as you can see here. Now there's wasn't a ton of wind, so it shouldn't have been pushing it over the way it was. Now that top one, I know for a fact that was me. I knew when I was sitting there and I pulled it up, probably about where that's at when I'd shot. So that was completely me. But still doesn't discount these. You can say flyer, you know, well, if this stuff is going to help eliminate flyers, that would be cool. But either way, yeah, the Shooter's Choice FP10, it looks like I done pretty well with speed. Pretty impressed with this overall. You know, not impressed. I don't think run out and buy it. It might be worth it. I'm going to go ahead and do some more testing. Because I'm liking that. I didn't realize as much until after I was done, because looking at the chronograph numbers, it was kind of like, yeah, I don't see no 10, 20 feet per second, or for difference that people were, you know, some people were trying to claim and all this kind of crazy stuff. Definitely not that, but it did say pretty consistent, and higher numbers, and I'm really impressed. As you can see, that's nice. And I wish I could get up closer. Oh, I can't.